All right. Hello, everyone. Okay, I can see people coming in. How are you? Right. It is 10 a.m. and I believe people are still coming in. So let me just start talking here. And then I will pass the floor to our speaker here. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you are enjoying your summer. It is too hot here in Copenhagen. It's 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't sound serious to some of you who are maybe in Florida there where the temperatures are much higher, but believe me, it is hot and humid. And unfortunately, air conditioning has not reached us here in Denmark yet. So we are suffering. All right. My name is Daria. I am the CEO of VMS Software. Very happy to be here. Very excited about this topic today. I'll explain why a bit later. And I am joined here by Susan Lindeberg, our release manager. Initially, we planned that this presentation will be delivered by Camille van der Hoeven, our strategist, OpenVMS strategist and architect. But unfortunately, he's not feeling well and he couldn't come. But we're lucky that Susan has stepped up and she's the best person to deliver this presentation, honestly, because she has released every single one of the updates that you will hear about. And she knows all these products like the back of her hand. So the topic of our today's webinar is alpha updates. I've been with this company for 8 years, and ever since I joined, we were always working on porting OpenVMS to x86. This was our single focus, and it made sense because most of our customers still are integrity customers, and integrity is approaching end of life. They need to go to x86. So obviously that was our focus. But then we've learned that there are actually quite a few alpha users out there who do not have the urgency that the integrity users have, because alpha is emulated and they can already run alpha on x86 and in the cloud on the emulator. And so these customers are really interested in hearing about what we have for alpha. And this is what we are going to present today. And I'm very interested in hearing what it is that you want more, what other updates for alpha you would like to get, and how you're using your OpenVMS on alpha and what your plans are, so that we can adjust our strategy to help you succeed with using your applications on alpha. And let me just pass the floor to Susan, who will be our speaker today.
Good day, everybody. Thank you, Daria. So as Daria mentioned, I'm the release manager for OpenVMS. And in fact, my first assignment when I joined VSI was to release the alpha releases, 8.4.2.1 and 8.4.10, followed by 8.4.2.2. Let's see. First of all, I'd like to read this vision statement. I think it's very important, and it's behind everything we do.
You're not sharing?
I'm not sharing?
Yes, could you please share?
I thought I was. Okay. Let's see. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I was sharing earlier, though. Okay. Share.
Yes, I think you can just
sharing
start.
now.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Here we go. So I'd like to read this vision statement as it's behind everything VSI does for our customers. By linking the past to the future, we provide OpenVMS users an opportunity to protect and realize the full value of their application investments. This applies to our customers on Alpha, certainly, and Titanium, and now x86. And certainly in my work, it's been the guiding light for everything we do. This is our agenda. We do provide support, long-term support. We'll go over that, and we are able to provide enhanced security as we continue to support VMS on Alpha. And particularly with open source products, we're able to provide modern tools as things go along. There are a number of resources that are available to you as a customer or now, even if you're not. We have a little bit on the future for Alpha, and we can cover more of that when we have questions and discussion. All right, long-term support. So obviously HPE is not releasing patch kits anymore. And since VSI has had OpenVMS on Alpha, we have released many ECO patch kits for the release. In some cases, these are fixes that are coming that are backports for issues found during our x86 port work and or improvements also, or the other direction as well. Admittedly, we find issues in Alpha and we carry those forward to the other architectures. In fact, our most recent patch kit was released sometime in the last couple of months. And as this points out, where possible, we try to keep Alpha on par with x86. There are some technical limitations, certainly, but where we can, we do that. This is a list of the current patch kits. In some cases, the RTL, this is the most current patch kit that's been released on Alpha. There have been earlier patch kits for RTL as well. So we do try to keep up with the addressing customer issues. There's quite a few kits there. This you can see on our website in the public roadmap space, the support roadmap for our versions. This is just a snapshot, so it just shows you Alpha and Titanium. But as you can see, for the foreseeable future, we will be supporting Alpha on the 2 current versions that we have. And this is standard support. Whereas with HPE OpenVMS, what we can provide is prior version support at best. Now the reason for 2 versions, we have 2 versions. 2.01 was released first. It's supported on all the Alpha servers, as well as, of course, the emulators. 2.02 is essentially an optimized version of 2.01, optimized for EV6 CPUs or later. And it does offer performance benefit. It will not run on the earlier Alpha servers, however. Next area that we are provide for a future is in security. TCP/IP, we've been releasing about 3 times a year updated versions of our TCP/IP product, 6.0 version. And those include bug fixes as well as security fixes. And perhaps some enhancements as well. OpenSSL, we're currently at the 3.0 code base. We are going to be looking at moving to the 3.5 code base. With the 3.0's end of life with OpenSSL is in September of 2026. So 3.5 is the next long-term support code base. So we'll be picking that up. OpenSSH, our current release is at 8.9, and we will be releasing 9.9 based software soon. And we'll be looking in the future to OpenSSH v10. OpenLDAP is also, we put out new versions on the 3 architectures. Password management enhancement, this was done a few years ago. First, it was done on Itanium, and then we ported it to Alpha, and then it was carried forward into our x86 releases. And then Samba, we have been supporting Samba for some time on Alpha for file sharing. There are probably other things that just aren't on this list. What we show on modern features, we talk about here, a number of these are open source products that we provide on the 3 architectures. And there are additional ones we provide on Alpha. This is a sampling of things. I don't know what else to say about that. We just released an updated version of RabbitMQ on the 3 architectures. LibRabbitMQ, the API. It seems I lost my cursor. Okay. Resources. Number of resources available to you. If you go to this first products, vmssoftware.com/alpha, there's more information about our alpha offerings, software and services. This roadmap, let me go here. So this is the jumping off page for that link to the alpha information. That's what it looks like. And then you can scroll down and find all kinds of information. Oops. The roadmap is kept. The roadmap is also available on our website, and it's kept up to date, almost real time, as a deliverable is released, that it will show up on the roadmap as released within moments. So you can look at that anytime to see what we've delivered and what's coming. And I can show you that. This is just a snippet. So this snapshot was taken a few days ago. We just released so if you look now, you would see RabbitMQ in the delivered section. We actually were able to deliver that early. And you'll see other things. And this is just, as I say, a snapshot. So there's information about the OSs, which is mostly x86, and except for the patch kits is covering all 3, and then layered products and open source products. You can get information about upgrade analysis from sales, and sales at vmssoftware.com is how to contact organization. They'll make sure the right folks are hooked up to look at your situation. And if you would like to, we offer evaluation licenses, whether it's for Alpha or Titanium or x86, to help folks in assessing their coming up with plans to migrate. This slide is just a high-level representation of some things that we will look to do and some things that we just don't expect to ever really address in the future for Alpha. Starting with the items that are not planned at all, things like Java, C++ updates, deck window improvements, and an entropy engine. We have that in x86, the entropy engine, and our focus on Java is OpenJDK. There are technical limitations with Java on Alpha at this point to stay current with OpenJDK. We actually, for C, we do continue to make updates to the runtime library for C. Whether we'll put out a newer compiler in the future, that's something that we will consider looking at. iSCSI. It's something we're working on right now for x86, and then once we have that, we'll look at what we can do on the other architectures, including Alpha. And I don't know that I have anything, so if there's a question, bring it up about the NFSv4. As I mentioned earlier, we do plan to port SSH v10, OpenSSH v10 to VMS, and that'll include Alpha. Multi-factor authentication. This is something that we're looking at for the future. Couple of different options on how we'll address that. Cluster compatibility. Well, that's something we do now when we have things. We will continue to do that. And so that you can have, continue to have clusters with a mix of architectures. And then new version rollup. Well, we do patch kits now. We will at some point plan either an update kit or update kits or a roll-up new version to kind of have a new launching point for the OS. So that brings us to your questions. Do we have questions in the chat or anything?
Yes, not yet. Thank you, Susan. Not yet. We don't have any more questions. So if you guys have questions, you can leave them in the Q&A section below. You could also raise a hand if you wish to speak up. So that's another option. We're really curious whether you have heard about these updates before, whether you know about them. And if you're not on VSI VMS, what is holding you back? Are these updates sufficient for you? Is there anything else that you would like to see? So we will, like Susan said, we will definitely support Alpha into the future. However, there are technical limitations with this architecture. So we really want to understand what you need to do with it. And that's why we arranged this call. All right, we have a few questions in the Q&A, so I'll just start going through them. Ralph is asking if there is a time frame for when there will be a roll-up for ECO kits on Alpha. I assume this question is about when we release the next version for Alpha, which is just a roll-up of all of the updates that we've released so far. Susan, would you like to take this one?
Sure. As a release manager, I'm not aware that we have a timeline for it yet.
Right.
That's so.
Yes, so we're definitely considering this. We will probably include this in our planning for next year. And then we will think about whether or not we can possibly release it next year with all the updates that we've already planned. And if it is possible, then we'll do it. We'll see. But if I see that you're interested, so we'll announce it when we have it. You will see it on the roadmap.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll put it on the roadmap before then, just to indicate when we expect to have it out.
For sure, yeah. So Ralph,
Yeah.
to answer your question, we'll include it in our planning for next year, and then we'll put something on the roadmap. John is asking, SSH, the entire IP stack, is likely the biggest thing people want.
Yeah.
So that's more of a comment. Okay, noted. Thank you, John. Let me just note this down for myself. Okay. Stanley is asking if VAX clustering will continue to work.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, VAX clustering.
Yes,
Sorry.
VAX clustering. And as I'm reading this question, I am so VAX clustering as in VAX cluster, like clustering itself, or you mean clustering, including VAX machines into the cluster? Not exactly sure. I believe that if you mean including VAXs into the cluster, then no. If you mean clustering in general or alphas in the cluster, then the answer would be yes. Susan, do you have a comment? Any additional comments?
I think that's all I would say too.
Okay. All right. Stanley, if you have a comment, if you can give us more information on your question, please do, and we'll consider that. Thanks. Right. Nick Luz is saying, I was not aware of the difference between L1 and L2, so very helpful. Are the patch kits and layered products the same for L1 and L2? Susan, would you like to take this one?
Actually, no. I know we've had some changes about the open source. Could you repeat the question?
Yes. Are the patch kits and layered products the same for L1 and L2? I'm guessing you're
Oh, I'm
going.
sorry. Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're the same. All right. You can always check the requirements on the service portal, I believe. Susan, is that that is available to customers on the service portal, correct? The requirements.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand the requirements for what?
So if a patch kit requires version one, so L1 or L2, that information.
Oh, yeah, that's clearly spelled out with the patch kits. Yes. Many of the patch kits that we produce, it's one kit that is installable on either one. Sometimes it has different images depending on which version it's being installed in. But yes, you can definitely tell that from the information on the portal.
Okay. An anonymous attendee is asking, can you compare the differences in upgrading to a VSI version versus staying on a HP version for companies with product sets such as Promise or GMAS? Have those been certified yet? You mean
I don't
certified on
think I can
VSI?
answer that. I don't think I can answer that question just because I'm not informed on those.
Right. This is actually an interesting question. And I would like to say, I can tell you what I know now, but I would like to do some more research and get back to you. I would say there is a clear benefit in upgrading to VSI version versus staying on an HP version, because we continue releasing updates for the VSI version. We continue supporting the VSI version for alpha. There will be security benefits to that, and that also applies to, that applies to the entire system. However, as for the certification for specific product sets such as Promise, that I am not sure, and I will have to get back to you. What I can tell you now is that, as far as I know, environments with these product sets would have security requirements, they would have support requirements, and these requirements are clearly satisfied with the VSI version of VMS, as opposed to HP version of VMS, which we don't provide engineering support for anymore, and we don't release updates for. But let me get back to you on this. Yes. Okay. So John is asking, will any ECOs be supported or backported to older versions of VMS, even HP, or will there be a requirement to update to VSI versions? I don't know, I can answer this one, but would you like to, Susan?
Okay, if I understand, they're asking if ECOs that we've done for VSI versions would be backported to HPE versions. No, we are not able to do that.
Yes, that is correct. So there will be a requirement to update to VSI's versions, just because we cannot do anything about HP versions. We don't own them, we cannot change them, we cannot release any software for them. All right, Brad says, consider this another request for updated SSH and IP stack. Okay, noted. Ralph is asking, is there a list visible on which ECO kits are available for OpenVMS Alpha? The list mentioned in the presentation. Can you take this one, Susan?
Yes, I believe you can go, if you have access to the portal, you can, the customer portal. I realize there may be some people here who don't, but you can generate a list of patch kits for a particular version for a particular architecture from the portal.
Yes. All right. Okay, so Stanley is getting back to us. He's saying, I meant VAX in an Alpha Itanium x86 cluster. So will we support VAX members in a cluster?
I think the answer is still no.
I believe so. I'll see if I can get Camille to comment a little bit more about this, but I believe the answer is no.
I suspect we'd have some limitations
Absolutely.
on that to be able to do that successfully.
Okay. Brian says, not a question, just a comment. I missed the beginning of this presentation because I was fighting to get Zoom working. I only just got in and you're now doing Q&A. In the future, provide the links to these things with ample lead time. All right. I don't know when the link was sent to you. I believe the link was sent directly after you registered. So I don't know when you registered, Brian. This is what Zoom does. I believe when you register, it just sends you the link. But we might be able to, I don't know, maybe start a little bit, a few minutes later. That might help. Yeah, but noted. Thank you, Brian. All right. Mikhail says, would you support VMS on alpha emulator other than you listed? That is an interesting question.
Will we support VMS on other alpha emulators? Are there,
We
Can we
will
get back to
definitely
that?
consider that if you tell us what these emulators are, and we can get our
Yeah.
hands on them and we can try them. And we know that there is interest among customers in using these other emulators. So we've listed AVTware and Stromus's. So if you could reach out to us, Mikhail, and let us know which other emulators you want to run on, then we'll definitely consider it and get back to you with an answer. Right. Okay. Then Mark left a comment. He says, I suspect the previous question about backporting was for things such as OpenSSH, which limit customers that are version locked and stuck with an ancient SSH. Thank you for this comment. We'll keep this in mind. When you say version locked, does that mean they've lost their what does this actually mean, version locked? Like they cannot upgrade to a new version? Why? Right? Because I understand with upgrading to a new architecture, for example, you'd probably need your source code. So if you don't have the source code, then that would prevent you from upgrading to a new architecture. But what would prevent you from upgrading to a new version of VMS? All right. Yes, so Mark says certainly some features won't backport to VAX, but we have a cluster with all 4 architectures right now. Yes, that's the point. So the question was about supporting VAX in the future, and the answer is no. And I think there are some features that we plan that will not be supported if VAX was in the cluster. So that's why we plan to drop support for VAX in the cluster at some point in the future. But let me get back to you on this as well. Okay, so Mikhail tells us that the emulator that he would like to use is EmuVM. To be honest, this is the first time I'm hearing about it, but I'm not exactly an emulator expert. So thank you.
Could you repeat what the name of that emulator? What is
EmuVM, and there's
EmuVM? Okay, thank you.
I can actually drop the link that he provided in the chat, so everyone can go check this out. Thank you. We'll check this out, get back to you. Yes. Yeah, so Mark says that we have that there are some customers who can't upgrade either for certification reasons or lack of source code, as you state. So they're version locked. Okay. Well, we would definitely be very interested in hearing from such customers, specifically what the situation is, what is the version that they're on right now, why they can't upgrade to a VSI version, and what their requirements would be in terms of new software that they wish to have on that version. All right. Okay, so I think we went through all the questions. There's one from Brian, who received a reminder email 5 minutes prior to this presentation, which had the link, but never got the link prior. Okay. Well, this is a Zoom issue, Brian. Well, I'll see if we can change some settings to send the reminder a little bit earlier, or maybe you can try and see if the previous link actually landed in your spam folder. With a lot of email clients, what you can do is if you locate an email that wasn't spam but was sent to spam, you can drag this back into your inbox, and then the email client would understand that it's not spam and will not flag it as spam next time you get it. So that could be an option, but we'll definitely look at the settings and see if we can send a reminder a little bit earlier. Thank you. Okay, a comment on EMU-VM from Richard. We used EMU-VM to replace a DS20 system at a customer site several years ago. They were still running HP VMS, but it worked well, no problems. Okay. Look, we're very interested in hearing about more customer cases like this. So obviously there is, I'm guessing, either one or two customers that are interested in running on EMU-VM or probably on us supporting EMU-VM. If you can contact our account management team and let us know about your environments, that would be very helpful for us in qualifying this certification internally. All right. Thank you, Richard. Okay. Sorry. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, an anonymous attendee is saying, I know this is a stupid question. Any idea building the VSI own emulator that runs on latest 9.x? Other emulators are running on other OS, for example, Windows and Linux, since VMS is already on x86. Are you talking about emulating alpha in VMS, like an alpha emulator for OpenVMS? Very interesting question. Thank you for the idea. I would be interested in hearing from customers who currently run emulated alphas on whether or not they would be interested in going to such an emulator, right? So if you'd want to go from, say, your Stromysys or your AVTware to the VSI alpha emulator on x86, that would be very interesting.
And maybe reasons too.
Ralph is asking if there will be a recorded session available. Yes, there will be a recorded session available. We will also distribute the list of questions and answers, and we'll make sure that we run all the answers once again by Camille, so he can add some additional background on why we answered a certain way. Thanks. Yeah, so that's a very interesting idea for an emulator. And certainly if we have enough interest and we understand why do this, then we'll consider doing it. You know, we're a company of engineers. There are 2/3 of engineers in this company. And of course, if you, like Camille likes to say, if you ask an engineer if something is possible, the answer is always yes, or some variation of like, yes, but it'll take a long time, or yes, but we need some resources to do it. Yes, but it will run in a certain way, right? So when we see an interesting idea, of course, our first answer is yes, but then we need to think about the implementation as well and who will be using it. Sumit is asking, do we have an RDB kit available for x86? Good question. I am assuming you mean Oracle RDB. And no, to the best of our knowledge, Oracle has not yet released their port to x86. We know they're working on it. We know they're getting ready for the field test. They've recently done a presentation at the French user group meeting where they laid out all the requirements for the field test. So the registration is open there, but they have not released yet, no. Pete says, perhaps Brian is asking about the Google Calendar invite, which did show up about 5 minutes prior to the meeting. I had received Zoom's invite 1 hour prior to the meeting start, as well as the meeting link was included with the meeting registration. Yes, I think it's the link got lost there somewhere between maybe a junk mail folder and maybe Brian checked his inbox a little bit too late. I don't know, but we'll look into this. Thanks. Okay, more of a general OpenVMS question, but I have been supporting Alpha and VAX for 25 plus years and for multiple clients. Most clients have moved off VMS, and the ones that have not are using Sharon, but still have plans to move off to another platform. The clients all view OpenVMS as an old and outdated OS and feel they need to move off of it. Besides providing updates, is VSI doing anything to change this view for the clients that have this view of OpenVMS? Yes, I believe the answer is yes, we are doing. So first of all, we're definitely talking to all of our customers much more than we used to talk to them in the past. We are providing much more information about OpenVMS, and we've learned that most of the information that's been provided so far was kind of aimed at people who know VMS, right? So who are already sold on VMS. Whereas most of the people who you're describing are new to VMS, so maybe they grew up using Linux, and then they looked at VMS from that perspective, and the information that we were providing was not aimed at this audience. It was aimed at the people who know and love VMS. So we are changing that view. We are providing much more information aimed at people who are new to VMS. We've resurrected the boot camps. As you know, we've had 2 so far, and we are preparing to organize another one. It's in Portsmouth this October. We have ported OpenVMS to x86, which is a new architecture, so you can actually run it. We have ported a lot of open source software to OpenVMS. We have released modern interfaces for managing OpenVMS, such as WebUI for performance management and for connecting OpenVMS to various monitoring solutions. So we have VMS SPI that collects data on OpenVMS and that you can visualize in Grafana, for example, as any other monitoring tool on any other modern operating system would use. What else have we done? I feel like we've done a lot more, but yes, so we're definitely doing something to change this view for the clients that have this view of OpenVMS. We have a lot of clients that we have good conversations with that are not planning to move off of VMS, and we're still fighting for the others. And if you have other ideas on what we can be doing but are not doing, please let us know. We'll consider it. Okay, I'll get off my high horse for now. Stanley says Stromasys had a VAX emulator on Alpha, but performance was terrible. Yes, we know that. Okay, Brian Schenkenberger says Brian uses VMS mail, so that's maybe that's why it lost the Zoom link. That is interesting because VMS mail does not really have the junk folder. Okay. Kushik is asking us, are you planning to continue to support RTR and JRTR on OpenVMS and other platforms? I think RTR is the reliable transaction router. Do you know about it, Susan?
Let me just check something on that.
Yeah.
You want to keep going? I'll get back to you.
Okay. I am not entirely sure about x86. I think we have versions of RTR available.
Let's see what we've got
We do
here.
have the x86 version.
We do have it available for x86, yeah.
Yes. So yes, we have
So we have versions for all three.
for
Let me
all three architectures.
see.
Yes. You can find it on our
Yep.
website. If you head to product catalog and type in RTR, you'll get to the RTR page, which tells you all the latest versions that we have for RTR, and it's available on all three architectures. And yes, we are planning to continue supporting it. As for
Right.
ARTR, I'm not entirely sure what it is.
I don't know what that is either. If we can get more information about that, we can.
Yes, so if we don't have information about it on our website and you'd like to know, please let us know and we'll get back to you on that. Yes, yeah. So you're saying it is reliable transaction router messaging software? Yes, this is the one that we're talking about, and yes, we still support it. We provide versions for all three architectures, so that we have answered then. And Dalton says, I use SimH on Linux. It works perfectly. Yes. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Would someone maybe like to speak up and talk about their experience in Alpha, their needs, whether they're covered by a current list or whether we need to release some more updates on Alpha? No? All right. Susan, do you have any comments based on the questions that we got? Anything else?
Not right now, no.
Okay, great. So what we're going to do then is we will publish this recording. We will also publish the list of questions that you guys asked. Oh, there's another one. So yeah, we'll publish the list of questions and answers. We'll have Camille go over them once he feels a little bit better, and you'll read the answers. Okay, does VSI come across, or I'm guessing has VSI come across any successful migration from the alpha version to x86 running on cloud, especially the legacy application codes and database running on it? Okay. As far as I know, and I need to check, we have not performed migrations from alpha to x86. We have only done integrity to x86 so far. Like I said in the beginning of this webinar, we mostly have integrity customers. Actually, this is why we organized this webinar. This is why we're so excited to talk to you guys, because we mostly talk to integrity customers and they're migrating from integrity to x86, which works fine. And yes, we do have customers with legacy applications and databases running on integrity that we migrated to x86, so that worked just fine. Alpha to x86 we haven't done yet. If there is a customer here who would like to try that, we are very much willing to talk to you and try to migrate your application to x86. This is very interesting. I hope this answers your question. And we have done migrations to the cloud, just not alpha customers. We have migrated integrity applications to x86, and they're currently running in production in the cloud that we have done. If you're interested in more information about how we've migrated customers to x86, or maybe other migrations that we've performed so far, you can go to the services section on our website, and there is a link to customer stories there. And we try to update this fairly often with stories about migrating our customers, and sometimes it's migrating, for example, from an old database solution to a more modern database. Sometimes it's about integrity to x86 or to x86 in the cloud. Not everything we can publish. Sometimes our customers are not thrilled to appear on our website, even if we don't mention their names. But we have quite a few customer stories there. So if you're interested in our customers' experience migrating or getting help from us migrating, you can check out those customer stories in that section. Okay, and Stanley saying DECnet. I am guessing that means that he would like to see DECnet updates for alpha. Well, let me just note that down. But if you could be more specific, that would be great. Thank you. If not clustering, will DECnet still work to alpha x86 from VAX? Very interesting question. Susan, do you have an answer?
I don't know. I'm sorry. We can get back to the.
Definitely, yes. So Stanley, let me relay this question to Camille, and he can tell you exactly what our plans or what our comment here would be and why not. And thank you for providing more information, making sure we understand your question. All right. I think we've gone through all the questions. Do you guys have more? If not, you can always reach out to us. Whether you're a customer or not a customer, our account management is very open to talking to anyone about OpenVMS and what we offer, and they will relay your wishes to our product team, to Camille, who will have a conversation with R&D, and then this will feed into our ongoing alpha strategy. We really rely on your input here. We really need to know what you guys need in order to be able to provide it to you. Because so far, talking to integrity customers, what it looks like from our perspective is, integrity customers obviously need to go from integrity to x86. So x86 should be our focus. If we know about more customers who need specific things on alpha, we will include this in our roadmap. And again, as Susan showed you, some of the things can be achieved easier than others. So we'll have to factor that in. But yeah, in general, we look forward to getting more questions from you. Okay, so no more questions for now. Thank you so much for coming, for joining in and listening, and thank you for your questions. I think this was the webinar with the most questions asked so far. Thank you so much for being active. And yes, we'll send you another email after we publish the recording and the question list. Thank you so much, and let's stay in touch. You have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your summer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.